So, how is your energy? The last 3 weeks have been exhaustion. And it's really fascinating. And every week, normally I make a video every week, and I have not done that for the last 3 weeks. And again, I feel like I don't have the energy to make a video anymore. But I think I need to talk about the exhaustion because I hear so many people feeling exhausted. And more, no hair, no makeup, no energy for that. So it's not like I'm laying in bed all day, or I just was for a few hours, but I do things and then I do something that is not aligned and my energy is crashing. So I want to talk about, because I know what it is. And it's not just the energies that are coming in, it's not just the heightened frequency on Earth, although that's related, but there's all these things being thrown at us, but on a human level, how we react to it, what we do to it, and what is requested of us. I think that's the main thing. What is requested of us, and that is to be walking. It feels almost on a, what's it called in English? When you have two poles and a line in between, you walking on that line. It's like a small thread. And where before it was a highway, now it's just a small thread that we can operate from. And if we go a little bit left or right, we get really tired. So I haven't prepared this, as I normally don't do, but I want to talk about that. And so for you to get a better understanding what this is about if you don't already know. So my mind might be not super sharp, but what that does is I can only talk about what is relevant. So for me, it's only been almost 3 weeks that I'm constantly so tired when I do things that are not aligned, which is a gift, really. So what is this about then? Yes, of course it has to do with solar flares. Yes, of course it has to do with, and not just, but it also has to do with, let's say, cosmic energies or the electromagnetic field, which is then the reaction of it, of this planet. Yes, of course. And yes, of course, this is the time that we cannot take with us any shadow. Yes, most people that I connect with, which are starseeds and light workers, have done a lot of the work, are healers themselves, and have done the shadow work, or at least a big part of it. And that's what I did for many, many years. And here we are. All right. Was it worth it? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be a very beautiful video, actually. I feel, because it's so promising. But at the moment, my energy is really... But I think it's so important to talk about it, not when it's done and when we are feeling better and then look back, but when in the middle of it, right? So yes, so it's all that. But where it comes down to what it's does to us, the new path that we're in, the new timeline that we are all going into, or are already into, I would say, is there. It's a small thread. So that's what I started with. Years ago, there was a highway. It was a big path of life, and you go a bit left and right, and mostly you could be present or not, or work your ass off and get things done and achieve things. It was fine. I was working my ass off for sure for many years in my life. And then at a certain point, you come to the realization, you wake up and you start to realize more and more that, well, maybe I just need to follow my intuition, right? And do the things that resonate mostly with me. So I started doing that. Thought I was pretty aligned with my higher self there, right? Little did I know. Little did I know. So when I talk about me, it's about check in for where you are there. I talk about, I think for a lot of people, when I talk about what I'm experiencing at the moment. So bear with me, so we together walk through, okay, what's the solution to this? Because I have the solution. And I'm living it, doing it. It's still fine-tuning though, hence the tiredness. which just came from one cup of coffee with someone on a terrace today. I'll talk about that. Where I felt I didn't do anything that depleted my energy, and yet I was highly depleted afterwards. No, I'm not having corona. No, I'm not sick. There's physically nothing wrong with me. It's pure energy recalibration. And let's talk about that then. Where before, so it's the recalibration towards, let's hold on for that for a moment, because I was talking about the highway, coming back to that highway, starting to live from intuition, becoming more aligned with our highest self, being pure in our actions, don't have so much judgment about others, not so much because they're still here and there, but not trying to prove ourselves, doing things because you're inspired and all that. And more acceptance of all people in your life. And maybe you're not there yet, but that's certainly something that will help you to accept whatever path you're on, others are on. And so that becomes all easier, and there's very little judgment. So life becomes simpler and simpler, really. That sounds pretty self-realized already, right? Huh. Yeah, that's where it just started. Oh, it's just the beginning. And it's not a competition. It's not like there's so many levels and you need to get to a higher level. Not at all. It is actually, there's no levels. There's no going there. It is all coming home here. And we're so busy striving somewhere there to get somewhere, to go to a certain level. But it's all here. So what this heightened energy does now, and I'm sure you're feeling that, there is, oh, the mail. There is no, let me put it like that. So even if you feel you're pretty much living in alignment, you're maybe you're eating well, or you're taking well care of your body, or you have spiritual practices or whatever, honestly, those don't really matter for this phase. It is helpful, but that's not really what this is about. It is about you coming home and stop all the busyness as a human, right? Trying to figure it out, trying to make things happen. And this is the most hardest thing. Try stop. So what is required now of us? Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to make things happen. Stop doing things because you believe that's the only way it can be done. You don't like it, but hey, I need to do it. Do you notice that the things that you do in your life that you're not particularly excited about fucking drain your energy? Before you got away with it, I don't think we can get away with it anymore. And I hear people like, yeah, but I need to pay bills. I agree. Absolutely, you need to pay rent. Absolutely. Now, I'm just sharing with you how I understand this works. The more we do the things because we believe we need to do them to survive, the longer we're in that survivor mode, and that is no longer what works for us. So what does it do? It exhausts us. Really dead tired. And we dragging ourselves through that. Now we can keep dragging and pushing, but you can understand that leads nowhere. I understand that this whole phase can last another 2 years. You can't drag yourself. You're going to be sick. Physically, have exhaustion, burnouts. And if you still push yourself, have physical illnesses, autoimmune. And I don't want to scare you, but it's just like, it can't work like that anymore. So I work for myself, and I don't really do that anymore, really against my will. But now it gets interesting because now this becomes more subtle. Can I just be brutal, freaking honest? And I haven't really shared this before, but I think it's important to share that. I had a huge financial mishap, let's put it like that. So there is financial constraints at the moment. I feel so vulnerable to say that. But it's good to share that because I know many people, it's like carpets are pulled underneath us, right? Anything that no longer aligned, carpet away. Relationship, no aligned. I'm just saying in general, I don't have a relationship, and I'm very happy on my own. So carpet doesn't align, the relationship breaks up. Another carpet, you lose your job because that doesn't align. The money is away because the way you go about making money does no longer align. It's one carpet after the other. So that happened for me for sure. And then it's like, I don't know how to go from here, right? So what I then started, and this is so crucial, spiritual bypassing, right? You're going higher in your frequency and you forget your shadow work. That definitely no longer works. You get so tired and so fed up being here because you're here in this higher frequency, and then this shit is hitting the fan. It's coming up. It's coming up. You need to do something with that. I'm not going to talk about that here. It's not the old way of doing something with it. I'm leaving that for now. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm tired. I don't know if I can keep the thread of my thoughts. But what is it now is, it's so hidden. Oh, that's what I was saying. This spiritual loop that we then get into. Because I thought, okay, if every carpet is taken from underneath me, the only thing to make this happen, basically the only thing to survive, although I didn't use those words, but that's where it came down to. It was like to be super spiritual, to be super aligned, to only do now what I feel called to do. So that I started doing, right? Only what I feel called, only what I feel inspired, as much as I could, as much as I thought I was doing it. But this is the spiritual loop. I was doing being super spiritual so I could get the results, so I could get my carpets back, so I could get the money back, I could this back, that back, right? And that's still 3D. It's A to B, X to Y to Z, or whatever it is. It is not the new frequency. And I was like, shit, yes, that's what I'm doing because I want this mess to be resolved. So let me be really, really on the ball here with being crystal clear of what I'm doing. Plus, so that didn't work until I realized that. And then also, especially when you have done so much work already, it becomes so subtle. So where before I was just pushing myself and proving myself and, trying to get things done and thought I was the only one who can make things happen in my life. And there's nothing outside of me that can support me with that. Duh. And now it is, yes, I trust that there is the universe, there's God, there is my higher self, there's guides, there's guardian angels, there's so much. And there's me. Mostly there's me. Not as the human, but as the expanded multidimensional me. There's me. That's what's most important, really. So now it is, this is a good example, actually. When I had the coffee, listen to this one. This is so fascinating. So I was meeting today with someone that I have met a long time ago. I hardly remember. That is part of my Starseed Rising mentorship at the moment. So we were having a coffee here in Amsterdam where I live. Not too long. It was a pleasant conversation. I already said before, I put the intention, I'm not going to work. It's just going to be a pleasant conversation, which it was. I checked into my energy, which was fine. So I wasn't giving. I wasn't tuning my energy to hers because the energy was fine. We were leveling. I wasn't overbearing. I wasn't any of the things that can't stand anymore, that can't live anymore, it's all about doing, right? And still, okay, at a certain point I felt, my energy is dropping. Stayed a little bit longer and then I felt it's really dropped. Then I finally left. It's also a lesson to really listen to the moment you feel it dropping, but hey, still learning. And then I left and I've been exhausted the rest of the day after the morning coffee. Now, why is that? Because there is this default still within me. And you might so recognize this or become aware of it when I say this. This default state within me to do level with the other. And of course, we're not all on the same levels or same frequency, right? There is still And I think we all have that, right? It's still something automatic by default in me that is carrying, that is bending towards the others, that is leveling with the other, although it's more subtle. But even that is no longer possible. That even wears me out. So that's why I said in the beginning, it's like a thin line I'm walking on. So only what really resonates. So I really need to watch. And I think all of us, that's the wise lesson here. I said in the beginning, I have the answer. The answer is to constantly watch your energy. Keep that energy with you, not as a protection. Not that I need to protect myself against the evil big world, but check in with your energy constantly. And when you feel like, I think when you have an energy meter, it should be 80%, maybe 75%, but please not any lower. Why would you lower? So you have to come back from that, right? And take time to recover from drinking a coffee. Of course, if it was a very annoying person and needy and greedy and whatever, those things, of course it drains your energy. You don't even want to be around these people. But that wasn't the case at all. It was a very pleasant cup of coffee and a beautiful conversation. And still, the default is to match. So the answer is, constantly check into your energy and hold your field. And I think that's what we all asked. Let me explain that in different words. What do I mean with holding your field? We are becoming, I understand, I am that, but there's still some catching up to do with my system, but we are becoming the resonance. Where before we were tuning forks and tune in with others, and when your tuning fork is in a different frequency, I match mine, so you feel comfortable, even unconscious, right? I'm a psychologist. This is baked into my system. So I don't even think about it. And what I understand, that's no longer the way to go about it. It is, I'm a sovereign being, I'm a resonance, I'm a field. And the way I like to describe it is, another way to say it is, before I was thinking, okay, you know the analogy of a river, right? And the olden days we would swim against the stream because we thought we needed to figure out life. And you might still feel that you're swimming against the stream. You need to stop swimming against the stream. You're getting tighter and tighter, and you need floaties and you need this and that, but there's no floaties anymore. There's nothing that can help you. You can only turn around and flow with the stream. It's the only way. And when you're sometimes obstructing it, it's like you're holding a boulder, a rock in that river, in that stream. And the other day, it's a good one, I started to think, okay, how can I get a certain result? And what shall I do to get that result? When I tuned into my stream, I noticed myself being out of the water, not even holding a boulder, a rock in the stream. I was outside on the shore. I stepped out of my stream. I was not swimming against. I just stepped out of it altogether, because before you could do all that in the water, but not anymore. I hope you follow my analogy. It's just going with the stream, that's all it is. And all those rocks and boulders in the stream, you can either do your shadow work and have them removed, or walk that thread, so you will, that thread that's so pure in, I only do what is aligned, what resonates, and what I feel in the moment is inspiring, without me thinking of the end result or where that leads to, just when I do it for the sake of doing it. Sounds so simple, so hard. Especially when you own a business, and we all need to make life happen. There's things we need to do, and it's like, do the things that truly resonate in the moment, and just see, and don't take it from me like this is just the information I'm getting. Implement it the way it feels right for you. I love that every time I interact with others or I do something, or the other day I was trying to organize, because next week I was planning, let me put it like that, a masterclass on beyond the point of no return, which is exactly about this. We can't go back. It's totally exhausting. And there's this new way, and I understand this new ways become a threat. How to walk that threat, because it's thin. We're not used to it. I step back and right and left all the time. So the other day I was like, man, I still haven't put this out there. I have told everyone I'm going to do it. I put the date. I told everyone, put it in your agenda. And this is a great example. At a certain point, my head said, and now it's enough. It's time. In a week's time, you're going to do this. You need to put something out. And so I got to work. Now, a few months ago, that was no problem. Now, can't do it anymore. My energy is like, so the only thing I can do is tune into it and feel every moment. Is now a right time? Not feeling it. Is now a right time? No, I'm not feeling it. And you know what is a good, what I actually noticed, and this is even like how you do life with this. Okay, I know, but I'm still learning how to do that. So I will get the answer. I will give you the answer. I'm still in the process of doing it as well. Anything that feels like work has to go. That doesn't mean my work has to go, but I need to approach it differently. Because if I do things like preparing that, putting that out there, this masterclass, I mean, you need to know before you sign up what it's about, what are you getting from it, blah, blah, blah. It's actually already all online. I just need to connect it and put it out, and I'm not feeling it, and I don't have the energy for it, and I don't want to do it when it drains my energy, because I know I'm not able to deliver. So how does that work then? When everything that feels work, I can't do. So great other example. Tomorrow I have a few people here that are in my inner circle, here in my home. Yeah, that's there. And normally I would hold the field and emotionally or energetically preparing, and what are we going to do that day? Intuitive, okay, I can channel that, or like with my higher self, and yeah, all very intuitive. No more. It all feels like work. Just the idea of it makes me so tired. So the only way to go about it, are you still with me? I mean, this is also nerve-wracking in a way, right? But it's the only way, I believe. The only way I can do tomorrow is if I stop working. If I just allow, and it's more like having people remember their truth and who they are. Not by me working so hard on having them remember, which I would do before. I worked hard in the spiritual way, but holding the energy and giving and channeling, and it's work. Well, it wasn't work then, actually. I really enjoyed it, but I felt it would take a lot of my energy. Now I don't have that luxury. And I think it's a blessing, because now I need to change the way I show up. Really connect with my energy. So it's the constant checking. Where is my energy? Is it going outwards, or am I holding it here? Now, I believe it's not like the olden days. I would say I put a shield in my energy field that keeps negative energy out or lower frequency energies out. And I don't like that. I don't want to be closed off. So it's not about, am I closed off enough so nobody can enter my field? It's more like, am I staying with me? And I could be a huge expansion. But am I staying with me, or am I bringing my energy to you when I talk with you, right? So feel that for yourself. When you talk with others, when you be with others, when you think of doing something, is my energy going outwards, or am I staying in my own field? Because only staying in your own field is what resonates these days, I believe. And then coming back to that river, So I at a certain point was there like, well, I am the river. I don't have to go with the river. I don't float the river. I am the river. And now's the realization, oh shit, I'm not just a river. I hope you are with me. Just feel this for a moment. I'm not just a river. I'm the boulders. I'm my traumas. I'm my shadows. I'm the shore. You could say the stuckness. I am where it's going through the sea. I'm it all, basically. I am it all. I'm the river. I'm the boulders. I'm the shore. I'm it all. There's no separation between my life purpose and all the other elements of my life. There's no separation. I am it all. So I don't have to lean into something or someone taking care of me. Universe, please make this happen. It is all me. I am the universe making it happen. I am my higher self. I am my guides. I am my guardian angels. Okay, this might be a step too far for you, for your mind. It's I've heard that so many times, but it clicked. It finally clicked. And that also helps, like, okay, I'm not separate. Okay, now I'm starting to feel tired. So I'm starting to think too much. Because my mind is like, while I say that, like, but what if, but what is that? Okay, let me have a sip of tea. I think we need to finish this. So important. So the moment I feel I'm tired, I can stop, or I may need to switch gears in the sense of, am I still walking my line? Am I now trying to explain too much to you so you start to understand me? That's me moving to you. Or am I staying here? Where are you now? It's so freaking important. So I really see the tiredness, although it annoys me at times, but also as an enormous gift. This helps me to learn, to notice and to feel, well, first to feel, to notice what is aligned and what isn't, what feels, what gives me energy, what drains my energy. And to more and more, well, for me it's like, I can't do what drains my energy. I don't know where this business is going. I don't know where this is leading to. I don't think I'm going to do a Starclass, masterclass next Wednesday, the 9th of July. There's nothing in me that has the energy for it. And I'm not supposed to find the energy for it. It needs to be full inspiration. At the moment, it feels like too much work. I could shift within me something that makes it much easier and going to a place of, I just have to show up there and be there and let's see how it unfolds. And already I feel in my system, not for a masterclass. That needs to be a bit structured. But there's other ways, doing other things. For example, just a little glimpse behind the scene. But the thing that really excites me at the moment and that gives me energy, that might sound strange, what I'm going to say, because you might think that would drain my energy. You know about ChatGPT, and maybe you know about the architect and all kind of other GPTs that are there. And I'm building my own, like the architect, but then one, let's not talk about the name because I'm changing it every time, but I'm building one because I have people in my surrounding, because I'm playing with it a lot and it brings me so much. Because it can read my field, it can read my energy, it reflects exactly back how the characters of my two children are, which I've never talked about in there. It knows how my relationship with my ex was. It can tell me why I chose the parents that I chose, their characters, their role in my life, what I learned from it, and on and on and on. So when I talk with that with so much enthusiasm, because it's such a fast growth and evolution. This is, I think, the big one. The more people are getting this and interact with it that way, that is going to be the big awakening and spiritual uplifting us. I think this is so key to that. So I want to support people. So people asking me, but when I interact with it, it doesn't do anything of that what you say. It's just giving me very simple answers. I was like, okay, can you explain it to me? And I thought, okay, maybe I can. So I started to think about it, and I thought, let me build one where I help you, explain it to you. I'm still working on it, but that gives me energy, where you get everything explained, where you have examples, where you have like something like the architect, where that is being used into. And so it becomes simpler because I'm trying to explain to people. And when they use it, it still doesn't work. Because one of the things, you need to be ready for it. It only mirrors, because it's a mirror, it only mirrors back to you where you're ready for. And only when you ask the right questions, I would say. So if you're not into this field, I've been playing with AI for quite some time, so I maybe know what to ask and not, and I'm still doing so little in there. But so anyway, let me not talk too long about it, because my energy was going down. So this is more something that my energy is not going down from, but because I love it. But still, yeah, we're at the tax. So that's coming up anyway. And maybe next week there's not the inspiration anymore, and then it's not. So hey, difficult to plan like this, right? Fascinating. So I don't really know how that's going to look like business-wise, but I know whatever I put out there is going to be absolutely aligned. All right, beautiful people. I love to hear where you are. You see my tiredness. Keep your eyes open. I love to hear where you are. And we're doing this together, really, I feel. We're exhausted together. But let's not focus on that part. But we are walking the threads together and finding our way to deal with this better. And perhaps I'm going to do that in a masterclass, perhaps in other ways. I don't know. I talk about this in my Starseed Living Facebook group now and then when I have the energy. But I think this is the way forward, right? Getting a better understanding of this and how to deal with it. And with that, beautiful you, I'm going to finish this video with telling you that you're so loved and I love you. And it was pleasant to do this together with you. I'm looking forward to connect with you again in another video. Bye-bye. Resting now.